It's 10 a.m. to 11 a.m.?
Well, no, that's 10 a.m. That's the second slide. The first
Ah,
slide is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
okay.
But we have
And
story time
on
Thursdays.
Storytime Thursdays is from 10 to 11.
Yes, on
And we
Thursdays.
have some fun activities happening from 10 to 3. This morning, I have the founder of Zoom Zoom Museum, Sonia Dumas, and principal of Holistic Schools, Dr. Pat, joining us on set this morning to chat a little bit about not just the museum, but some of the products of it and some related products as well. Good morning, ladies.
Good morning.
How are you all doing this morning?
Fine, thank you.
Yeah?
Live and grateful.
Very much so. All right, so how have things been going at the Zoom Zoom Museum?
They're picking up. They're really picking up. We had, quite a long closure because of COVID and so
Right.
forth. But now with the sort of Java kind of period upon us, we've invited a lot of camps to come, and a lot of them are coming in to just experience a field trip at Zoom Zoom Museum.
Right.
And we also have story time. And in that vein, since I recently launched a book called Avocado and Zabaka, which is from my Storytime album called Once Upon a Caribbean Time, that's another event that we're really happy about, and people have been very excited about the book.
So tell me about the book, Avocado and Zabaka. I got a brief run through of it, and I mean, for me, one of the things that stood out to me is that it kind of features essentially one of our watchwords, which is tolerance.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, am I correct in assuming that?
You are very correct.
Tell us about the book. What inspired you to write it in the first place?
I loved children's stories when I was growing up. And so I decided that there weren't enough stories of our own, and I decided many years ago that I would write stories for children. Some of them are based on our traditional characters like Anansi, but there are also other characters that I developed. So Avocado and Zabaka are two of the characters that I developed. And that's how it kind of came about. And so it's a very interesting journey because it started off as an audio track on Once Upon a Caribbean Times sort of story CD, if you will. I mean, that's how long ago it was. It was a CD, right? And then it became a film because I was able to get some funding from the then Film Company of Trinidad and Tobago to do a short sort of animated and live action film. And then my dear colleague, Dr. Pat, has always encouraged me to put it in writing. Those children need to read, and so forth. And so I decided, yes, okay, it's time. And I made it into a book. You usually have the book, and then you have,
And
the,
then you
film
have the film.
based on the book. Well, now the book is based on the film.
Dr. Pat, why was it so important for you that you put it in writing?
In the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, we don't have enough local stories that are documented, bottom line. So when I started Holistic and Atelier and involving my good partner, Sonia,
Partner in crime.
Partner in crime.
one of the early stories we looked at was how the scarlet ibis got long legs.
Yes, that's one of them.
And then we did something at the theater with Alicia, the crab.
Right. Dan the Crab and the Dumpling Ghost.
You see? So I purchased a few copies of that Once Upon a Caribbean Time CD
Right.
and helped Sonia market, but I felt like we needed the literature. We needed to share this with the children and encouraging, yes, sort of like nagging, Sonia, do you have anything yet? Sonia, you have anything yet? So I am so grateful and just thrilled that moving into the 2023-2024 academic year, we have Avocado and Zabaka.
Do you have lots of local books on your book list?
No, because they don't exist in terms of all the levels.
Okay.
But I am building. So Sonia is one person who is connected with the school. She has Avocado and Zabaka. And Claire Mark, who has a series. She has a background in education. So from the 4-year-olds to the 8-year-olds, she has a series. So I am going to be putting it out there about literacy, the key out of poverty.
Big
Remember
facts.
the last time I was here, I was in party mode and rhythms of love and just a trio we on TTT. Well, Today I am in the
Principal mode.
principal director mode.
Okay.
Yes.
I could understand that. I could respect that. All right. So tell me, in terms of everybody in principal mode, so how we getting into holistic? You have registration opening soon. It open already. It closed already. What's the
Well,
mood?
most schools have done their registration already. However, Holistic is one of those small private schools that really struggled during the pandemic. And we put our children first. So coming out, I needed to make sure everything was balanced. I'm meeting the painter at school today, the plumber, the electrician, so on. So registration is, and our open schools event, I would say, is on the 29th of July, Saturday the 29th of July.
And this is for all levels, primary, secondary, or
Preschool,
and primary
school, and music
And the
school.
music school, right.
Music school.
all right, cool. All right, so Sonia, Zoom Zoom Museum. How do people get in contact if they want to be able to bring a camp or they want to bring a school or whatever the case may be?
I'm asking them to send an email to zoomzoommuseum@gmail.com. Right, ZUMZUMmuseum@gmail.com, and reserve their space. And then we'll just take it from there, because it depends on the camp too. If they have specific needs,
As the next thing, so can you customize your experience at the museum?
we can indeed, because if the camp leaders want a certain kind of sort of experience, we can try, we can definitely go for that. What they will come to see, however, is the current exhibition, which is called Tech Times in the Tropics. And it has a series of gadgets, old things, like old cell phone and rotary phone and thing that someone at 5 doesn't know anything about.
It's like, why is the phone at a cord attached to this thing?
Exactly.
What's going on?
Exactly.
Holistic children loved it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
I mean, how important is it for you to relate the things that are in the Zoom Zoom Museum to the actual school curriculum? Can we use our carnival characters to help do that as well?
In fact, that's how Zoom Zoom started. Back in 2019, we had a pilot project and we called it Playmass. And the children came in and they experienced some of the costumes of the traditional carnival characters because they were on display. But then they were able to wear some of them. And we also tried to be very sustainable. So we had a borokit, for instance. It was made out of a cardboard box and old carnival trimmings and so forth. That poor borokit sees so much trouble because everybody wanted to be in the borokit. Right? But that's what I love, because they experience their own mass. They play their mass in their own way.
Yeah.
And they experience carnival. They experience the understanding of sustainability, and they experience their heritage.
Do they also get a clear picture of the history of these characters and how they came
Yes,
to
we
be?
explain that to them as well, because we have little displays on the walls that describe the characters, and very simply, of course, and of course at their level, their actual height level, so that they don't have to brace their necks to look up to the text panels and so forth.
Dr. Pat, our carnival characters and the use of them for education, is it like a removed thing, like it's part of our heritage, or can we make it more of a encompassing thing where we can walk around and see a midnight robber in the street and identify them?
We need to bring them. And over the years, more and more camps and mass camps and so have revitalized those characters. So, for instance, a partner here, I get into all sorts of things.
Well, I'm
right?
realizing that more and more.
So in 2020, Holistic played We Stream en Masse. And we had a borokit section, we had a bat section,
Yes.
we had a more modern section of the World Wide Web.
Yes.
And we went on the Savannah stage with a music truck and Holistic Music School musicians. And then after that, after we stream mass, guess what? Schools closed down, we were streaming school. So
Art imitating life.
there we go. And you spoke about the ministry. So thank you, Minister. Thank you to our permanent secretary. We received our guidelines, our circular memorandum for 2023-24. And inside of there, it speaks to school activities. Students are required to schools are required to enhance students' holistic development, hear that? Holistic, which has been open since 2002 by providing experiences in the following areas. And you spoke about culture, it's in there. You know, they're bringing back the languages, Spanish, they want to include French, and so holistic is about that, about all the connections from preschool to music school.
The music school.
Yes, 29th of July, book your appointment. It's coming around on social media. Click on your Google Forms, fill out your thing, because that's a whole other thing. When we had to go online, I had to become a Zoom expert, a Google expert,
We all
a
did.
Teams
Yeah, we all
expert,
did.
We all did.
right?
And it forces you to evolve and to grow.
Right.
Yes.
And I think that you're better for it, and we look forward to the 29th of July, and we look
Yes.
forward, of course, to more visits to the Zoom Zoom Museum.
Thank you.
Again, you can head across to zoomzoommuseum.com and book your time, book your appointment with your camp or your school or your family if you want to do that as well. Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning, and
Thank you so much.
congratulations on
Thank
all the
you.
endeavors so far. We look forward to seeing more great work from you.
Rockers.
Taking that.
All
Dr. Pat
right.
Nightmare, taking that.
There you go.
We take a quick break and we come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Stick around.